Davis back and literally better than ever for the Lakers as they took on the Sixers. And he showed you, Jay Will, everything in the repertoire last night.
37 points, 13 rebounds. He once again is showing everybody why he belongs in the MVP conversation.
I mean, look at him taking it to the hole. He's doing it from outside. He's doing it from inside, Richard Jefferson. Look at the handles.
Yeah.
You don't seem impressed. What do you mean?
You're a hater. It's a 90-year-old Al Horford with nobody else on that roster.
What about that three?
Yes, do it against the Clippers. Do it against the Bucks. That's what I want to see.
Friday.
That's what I want to see. And I love Anthony Davis, but I need to see it against a great team.
How about this one? Does this look like an old man? Throwing it down. Anthony Davis, 26 in the first half, finished with 37. Lakers were down as many as 13 in the first half. They wound up 11 at halftime, and then LeBron takes over the second half. Look at the range.
Look, for 35 years old, he's still doing things like this. I think he's so impactful on the game, almost a triple-double last night for LeBron James.
Yeah, he had 22 and 14 assists, and then how about this? Fourth quarter, 3 minutes to go, we're playing it out, and LeBron, we have liftoff.
By the way, he casually just takes off from outside the paint. Just casually at 35 years old.
Yeah, there's nothing casual.
Very few of us could do that.
This guy is remarkable, and the Lakers look awfully good as they win, albeit against a depleted Sixers team playing without Embiid and without Simmons. We understand that. But I want to go back to the place that we began this morning because, Richard Jefferson, you told me that if Anthony Davis plays like that, what happens?
They win a championship, right? But mainly because I don't believe Kyle Kuzma can give us any more than what Kyle Kuzma is giving us. So the only way for the Lakers to really raise a level is for Anthony Davis to play that type of basketball. But he's got to do it against the dominant teams. At the end of the day, he's going to have 25, 13, and 6. That's what his numbers will be. But it's how impactful those numbers are and who he does it against. If he does it against the Clippers, against Milwaukee, they can win a championship.
The Lakers, they worked out Dion Waiters, and I think that's a really big workout for them because I still think they need somebody else who can create off the dribble. You know, we've seen those stats, what they say about when LeBron's off the court, and I think AD can take over, but you still need somebody else to make the game easier. If you're able to get a guy like Dion Waiters, I think that can take your game to the next level.
By the way, you said you want to see AD do it against Giannis. You're going to get the chance. They're going to play the Bucks this week and then the Clippers this weekend, so we're going to know a lot more about them. But, Seth, you are very impressed with AD.
Yeah, here's the – you guys are both wrong. First of all, Kyle Kuzma has a role, all right? His role is to stretch the defense, corner space, and knock down shots. That's his role.
So
Anthony Davis' role is to be a dominant player. He's the third best player in the NBA right now, and he's going to show it this weekend. He can run the floor. He can protect the rim. He can defend on the perimeter and switch. He can make threes. It's got to be his personality. And what I mean by that is when he was at Kentucky, fourth most shot attempts on that national championship team. He's got to see himself as a dominant player. And I think he will see himself, and I think LeBron will bring that out in him. But don't compare him to Kyle Kuzma. Kyle Kuzma has a mini role, just like the other three guys that play with LeBron and Anthony Davis.
I understand the point you were making. You're not comparing him to Kuzma, but you're suggesting that it's not going to be ultimately about Kuzma. It's going to be about Davis. I get it. Do you agree with that notion? If I said to you right now, two of the three best players in the world are on the same team, the Lakers, would you agree?
I would say no, but we're splitting hairs because I would take Bron, I would take Giannis, and probably Kawhi. I would take Kawhi. But again, we're talking about 3 or 4. Like they have two of the top 5, 100%.
All I'm trying to say to you guys, it's not enough. It's not enough because if LeBron James gets in foul trouble, then this is a different team. You need somebody else that can create off the dribble and make plays easier from somebody else. And if you're saying that Rajon Rondo is going to be the guy you're going to count on to do that, we've all seen their production drastically go down when LeBron James is off the court. That's what I'm saying.
Joe, I agree with you, but if Giannis gets in foul trouble, you're going to see a different Milwaukee Bucks team. If any great player gets in foul trouble, they're going to be a different team. The thing is, the Lakers have the luxury. Now, I agree with the Clippers. The Lakers have the luxury of they have Anthony Davis. And Anthony Davis, when he imposes his will on a game, is the top 3 player in the NBA, top 5 player in the NBA, a guy that you can win with no matter who's around.
I think the one thing that we can agree on is if everyone plays their best version of basketball, the Clippers are the best team. If they play their best. Yes. Now, the one thing that could upset that is if Anthony Davis raises his level. That's the one thing to me that could change that series.
See, that to me is fascinating because I have always felt basketball is a game where the team that is the best player wins. the Lakers would have the two best players. They would have two players better than any two on the Clippers. But the Clippers are so much deeper. So we really will find out which of those two is more valuable a little bit this weekend when they meet up, but certainly in the playoffs.
Yeah, and I think the Clippers, their depth overall, even with that second unit, having Reggie Jackson, Marcus Morris, guys that can score, like that's dangerous, right? Like their bench, I think, had like 58 points in the last game they played.
How big is the second unit in the playoffs?
Oh, it's to me, it's very big over series because it gives you the ability to switch things up. You want to play small, you want to play big, foul trouble, in and out. You want just different ways to play.
Again, the Lakers will play Milwaukee and the Clippers over the course of the next 5 days. So we'll find out a lot about them.
0-2.
We'll show you what Zion did last night coming up a little bit later. We have assembled an extraordinary collection of acumen and analysis.
And Jay Will.
For your viewing pleasure. We got 2 Greenbergs for the price of none up here. We are ready to go. These two
I just don't pay attention to anything it says.
We're 4 seconds in, and we're going to have to separate Jay and RJ. Yeah. Here we go. Lakers last night. They welcomed back Anthony Davis. And did they ever, as they play the Sixers, Davis back and literally better than ever. Right out of the chute, look at AD inside.
AD's a monster inside. We got to start talking about him as an MVP-type player. The Lakers outscored the 76ers by 30 with him on the court.
Look at the handles. They had been down by 13 in this game, but he showed off, RJ, the entire repertoire.
He did, and I don't know what Jay Will is talking about, how he's saying that we now need to talk about him because, look, he destroyed a depleted Philadelphia 76er team.
Stand by. He did it with everything in the arsenal. How about the long-range game, Seth Greenberg?
Look, if you're going to start a team, who are you going to pick in front of him? That's my question.
A lot.
We'll talk about that later.
We're going to talk about that.
Taking off and flying through the air. He had 26 in the first half, finished with 37. Lakers, again, had been down 13, then they took off. How about LeBron James showing the range?
I mean, 36 feet. That seems like it's just over half court. Vintage LeBron.
Lakers up 19. This is what he's adding. And then, oh, by the way, at the age of 35, he can still do this. RJ, off the steal, we have elevation.
And just, you see how he's able to close in on that steal, and Tobias Harris wanted none of that. Thank you, Tobias, for just giving the crowd what they wanted. Don't low up or a block. Just watch it and be in the poster. Congratulations.
LeBron, 22, 14 assists. Again, AD had the big night, and the Lakers win by 13. And you made a comment in our meeting this morning, Richard Jefferson, about if Anthony Davis plays like that, what you see happening.
Oh, I think the Lakers are going to win a championship if Anthony Davis plays like that. Like, I know that they were playing against a depleted Philadelphia 76ers team, and 76ers don't play well on the road, so we're not really talking about that. But those numbers, the way he played, how dominant he was, he carried them in the third quarter. Pretty much went on the run offensively and defensively by himself. That's the one question. I'm tired of talking about Kyle Kuzma. Kyle Kuzma is just who he is and what he's doing right now. He's not going to be any more, any less. But Anthony Davis can raise his level to that consistently. 37 points, 32 points on a given night, that impactful, it's impressive.
Well, I'm sorry, RJ, that you're tired of talking about Kyle Kuzma, but you need more than just Anthony Davis and LeBron James to win the championship when you're going against a loaded Clippers team who has positions 1 through 8. They can also have scoring punches. And you're going to need a third-tier player. Who is your third-tier player when you guys are with the Cavs?
If you're talking about 37 and 15 against the Clippers in a dominant fashion the way he did, if he can do that.
You're not doing that against, I mean, you're doing that against Al Horford.
But you're saying he can't, people want to talk about him being one of the top 3 players in this league, and he can't do that against the Clippers?
Well, that's what I do want to talk about, because, Seth, you brought that up in our meeting. If I said to you right now, if you were to name the 3 best players in the world, would 2 of them be on the Lakers?
No doubt about it. Anthony Davis is one of the top 3 players. If you're starting a franchise right now, you're telling me you have 1 of 3 picks. Anthony Davis is going to be one of those guys. He can dominate every single game. Now, here's the question. Is it in his personality? When he played at Kentucky, he won a national championship. He took the 4th most shots on their team. But in terms of his game and his ability to elevate others, he blocks shots. He can defend anyone on the perimeter. He can switch ball screens. He can run the floor. He can shoot the 3. He can beat you off the bounce.
He can do it all.
What can't he do? You know what I just mentioned?
Win.
All the things I just said, those are the same traits this guy Giannis has.
Correct. But let's further illustrate the point you made, which is maybe it's not his personality. Well, now he's got the guy who knows how to win with him. He doesn't have to be the guy who leads everybody. You won a championship playing with LeBron. With LeBron and AD, that is as good a combination, a 1-2 punch, as the league has seen since Shaq and Kobe.
And I agree. It is a dominant 1-2 punch. And Jay Will says, you need more than them. But if he's at 27 points a game, right, you need more than just LeBron James and AD. If he's at 33, 34, 35, you can go past not having Kyle Kuzma and a third player. That's why they need him to play like that to win a championship.
Jay, well, let me put it to you this way. We all accept that they played a depleted Sixers team last night. Let's not read too much into it. But this week, they have the Bucks
Here we go.
and the Clippers.
Here we go.
So what will we find out about the Lakers by the end of the week?
You're going to find out that you're going to need other players, even if LeBron plays at a high level, right? His usage rate will be high. Even if AD plays at a high level. What are the ancillary pieces that are going to help you win a championship? They had ancillary pieces that stepped up in critical moments that helped them win. You're going to need that when you go against the Bucks and when you go against the Clippers.
I hate it when you use
Yeah, but here's the deal. And you didn't learn that at Arizona. That's a big
that's
deal.
fine.
Here's the deal. It's real simple. In those games, Anthony Davis has to be his very best.
I agree.
When you play the Bucks and when you play the Clippers, that's who he's going to be, because he understands in these games, in this moment in time, this time of the season, who cares? He did it last night. In the playoffs, they got Anthony Davis to be that guy in the playoffs, and he will be that guy in the playoffs because he has the ability and he understands timing is everything.
So we're saying
it's
if
all
Anthony
about the
Davis
players.
plays
Anthony
like that,
Davis,
they win.
Yes.
Without a doubt.
I think generally, I'm agreeing with you. Seth is agreeing with you. And in what cannot be described as a surprise, Jay Will is disagreeing.
No, I think Anthony Davis is incredible. I still think you need other guys to step up
Just
in those
fulfill their
critical
roles,
moments.
J. Will. Just fulfill their roles.
I understand.